back. I'm Longer Wade, and I want to be just like Babe behind the scenes when I grow up. Sorry, Wade, I had to. What goes around comes around.
Like, subscribe, do all that stuff for me.
Yeah.
All right, howdy peeps. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Okay, so what's going on here is I put a couple teasers up talking about this, what we're getting into on the board flipping situation. So here, the board flipping. The mother of all flippers, the mother flipper of the boards. So what's going on is in a lumber room, we're tearing out shoulders. It's hard on people. Our sawmill saws probably, if it's a good saw, you're not me. Our sawmill can saw between 35,000 and 50,000 board feet in a day. That's what our mill can output. Problem is it's too much for one grader. We have two graders, but even with two graders, it is hard on her shoulders all day long, just flipping the boards all day long, making her decisions. And the thing about a lumber grader is that's a very important job, because what they're doing is, well, inspector, that's one way to put it. They're inspecting the lumber that you're sawing, and then they're taking that lumber and they're doing things to that lumber. They're making cuts, they're making rips, they're making chops, they're making checking the thickness, and also checking all the criteria it takes to make your face, which is 83 1/3% clear with a bunch of other stipulations. Your one common, which is 66 2/3% clear, or 66.5%, something like that. 66% clear for one common, 50% clear for two common, and 33 1/3% clear for three common. So, and then you got your cull, but you also got all the geometrical stipulations, like your length, your width, your height. Is all this right? You know, on top of, we're grading for clear cuttings. We're grading for clear. We grade for clear lumber, because a lot of our lumber, I get asked this all the time, our lumber is not structural lumber. Our lumber is lumber that's used in chairs, trim, flooring, cabinetry, furniture, that sort of thing. So it's all about clear wood. It ain't necessarily about just sound wood. So you can grade for sound or you can grade for clear. And a lot of the construction lumber type of stuff, I'm assuming some here, but a lot of that's sound type of grading. What we're grading for is clear cuttings. We're grading for clear wood. So anyways, long story short, I'll quit yakking on that. Come up with this concoction that's not intrusive, that fits into the existing system we got to flip the boards for the graders. So the thing that graders doing most of, that's doing most of throughout the course of the day is just putting his marks on and maybe pulling a board in and out, because we in grade. A lot of people grades on top of the line, but we saw way too much footage for that. That wears the guy out. So if you pull the board out to look at across the distance of the board, so you see like a 16-foot board, you can't quite see all the, anything. If it's black and looking back is unsound wood. So you might have a speck on 14 foot of a 16-foot board away from you that's that big, that you got to pull the board out to look at to make sure that's a speck, or what is that, or what is that? You see what I mean? So other than that, the main thing the grader's doing is the flipping motion, and it tears out their shoulder over a period of time because of the consistent repeat. So what I'm trying to do is trying to get our graders to where they're not going through all that butchery, is what I'm trying to do. So this is complex. This is not an easy project, and it's not a real exciting project for everybody. So you may not choose to like this, but if you're nerdy like I am, you'll get into the gadgetry of this and try to follow this and get a kick out of this. So hope you like it. Step one is to get the steel in the saw to get it whacked up. I need to show you guys the drawing that I come up with this and kind of show you what's up so you know what we're building here. I'll step in here in a minute with a drawing and kind of show y'all what's going on here. Now this steel all come from Castling. They take pretty good care of us. Wrights was a good company that I don't get steel from much anymore, but they was good to us. They was always good to us. So anybody from Wright Steel sees this, apologize for not dealing with y'all here lately. They've been taking care of me at Castling, and I just haven't ordered much from you guys lately, which is a mistake. I should not be doing that. I should be ordering something from you guys too. Y'all do a good job. But this is the dimensions, the steel that I'm supposed to be using for this. It's not a lot of steel, but we built daggone. I built trailers, I built semi-trailers, I built a little bit of everything over the years. This, kind of low budget technology. But this type of build here is so much of the build is every little trinket to be modified a bunch. So what you're seeing is, yeah, this ain't a real big pile of steel I'm starting out with compared to what I normally start out with. But every part on this daggum thing is tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and tweaked. There's a lot of machining into this. Stevie had to help me do a bunch of machining, hole drilling. Now we drilled a pile of holes for this, all kinds of pin joints and stuff.
Roger, you been busting logs? What? You been busting logs? That's right.
Oh.
Yeah, been busting logs?
No.
Who's having trouble solving the bus? Huh?
Gotta get on them chemicals for busting logs.
I ain't Skitterman hooked them, and when they pulled on me, they opened up.
Yeah.
I think them guys been putting them fingers in them butt logs and busting.
Yeah, put the fingers in them.
Junkyard probably dumping that tiny too hard.
Because what it couldn't have been somebody trying to cut too big a tree with a hot saw. It couldn't have been that. Well, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. It's Roger, Pooh. I mean, I'm probably responsible for a couple of them, but it couldn't have been on me. Hey! I'll take blame, but I'll take it with me. Mostly Roger. He always says, watch this before he takes off. That's what I'm convinced of. Had to be Roger.
Here's the chain conveyor. The green is the chain conveyor, the existing chain conveyor. Now we're making an apparatus that sits below the chain conveyor, and when you hit the trigger, it'll jump up, catch a board, then flip it. That's what the purple is. So to make all this happen, we got an outside frame which goes here, and inside that outside frame we got to make a carriage, which is this here, and that's what's going to hold all our components, and this is what's going to raise up and down with the airbags. Now once you raise it up, you can see the decks in cyan here, the blue. That's existing deck. Once the carriage raises up, then there's cylinders mount here and mount here that's going to make this cross piece right here flip up, and when it flips up, it'll dump the board. Now there's a lot of moving parts, I realize that, but it takes all these moving parts to make it work in the existing deck. Here's my air schematic, or the air diagram coming in, and here's my wiring schematic down here. So the air's coming in through a tank that you can drain that water off or whatever. And then the way I'm actually building it, the regulator's on this side of the dealer valving. But then you got 3/4 inch line, and you got operator 1, got 2 airbags. Can you see? Got 2 airbags, 2 lift cylinders, and all the exhaust goes out a exhaust muffler. And the exhaust muffler is a 2-inch cherry bomb that's stainless steel that goes on a car, and that's going to get the quiet down, that so the operators don't have to listen to that air all day long. So now back to the project. But now you know what we're building, and here's some of the pieces we got to build and stuff that Castlin's done for us and stuff like that. Some of it we built. Look at all the machining and stuff that goes involved in it. There's just a lot of little machining and knickknacks and gadgets. There's just a lot of gadgetry with this. There's a lot of gadgetry with this project. Hey guys, I ain't shot video in a while. Let me get you quickly caught up. Here's the board flippers. I got my rack and pinion coming. And the pinion shaft's going to run down the backside here, and the gear rack's going to weld on right here, and the sprockets are going to roll up and roll down with each peg. So there'll be 4 rack and pinions here with a solid shaft, 4 rack and pinions here with a solid shaft, and the bearings will be mounted on these pockets on each one of them. Of course, them pockets get cut open because that was an old design, and an old hopeful, naive design that is not going to work. So the new modified design is going to be the backs of these open and scuttled out a little bit, just a little bit to make a little free room, and then the rack and pinion is going to hold them side to side, which should work just perfect. All the rest of it went good. Things are looking good. Everything's greasable. All the grease zerks and everything's on the inside, and I have greased about everything. It's looking good. So pretty happy with that. Now the hardware's in. Now it's time for the software. So here's our foot pedals. I'm making them, and there's a 2 setup here, so you got 2 of everything. And there's where my foot pedals are going to be. And on the back here is going to be these switches. So when they hit on the foot pedal, these switches will be activated. They got little roller arms on them, and they'll sit in here sort of like, and I order a lot of stuff on eBay just so y'all know, anybody that's trying to cut costs. Some of this stuff you can order on eBay, some of it you need your people for. So then you got to watch, ordering too much stuff on eBay, then you ain't got no more people. So you got to throw them a bone, you know, got to, and because you need people. But when you're in an industry like we are, where it's, there's money's not, there ain't an abundant supply of money around, so you got to try to
do right by that, if you see what I mean, figuratively speaking here. So anyway, so here's the pedal. So the first switch to activate will be the bottom switch, and that'll be, here's what activates. Those of you that's not up on a limit switch, this is a roller, and that roller is going to be tickling the bottom of this foot pedal. Click, 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 click. So the first one will be fairly long and easy to click. And when you put down, you click the first one, which is on the bottom. I don't have them in yet, but there's airbags that's going to set under that tube, between the tube and the channel iron. And when you click it first, it's going to click, it's going to and raise up. This will raise up against the bottom of the chain conveyor coming down through here. Then these pieces will set up and be ready to receive boards. The second click is going to be mounted short throw on this one. So when you activate the second one, it's going to take, as you're on the floor pushing with your foot, it's going to take more foot pressure. And that extra foot pressure will give the guy feedback through his muscles that, hey, it's down. So you could leave your foot lay on the pedal and keep that frame up there. If you're grading by yourself or something, you just want to, you see what I mean? So you got that option. Also, here's our control box, and it's not done. So say this is about the space between the two of them. This might be actually a little far apart. It's going to be 6 feet from operator to operator. Total perfect Corona distance. But anyway, a guy could always reach down and flip on the panel. And so far what I've got hooked up, there's going to be a dealer control here, which you'll see that soon enough. But there's a on-off for operator B, on-off for operator A, and in the middle is your dealer. So this is dealer off, there's dealer on, and then they wanted an option, which is easy to add in this phase of the project, which is a hold down option. So dealer off, dealer on, dealer hold down. And what that'll do is it'll lock the dealers down. The lumber coming off the line downstairs comes through a let down chain, which is cogged and it's timed. And it can do your dealing. It can actually do your timing and your dealing in bursts. And then as you need the dealer down below, you can turn your dealer on. So as the guy's operating by himself or however they want that, they can flip that on, flip that lock down to where the dealer stays down below, and just let the boards come on across from the double end trim. Okay, when they want to start dealing again, I'll turn it on, and then the dealers will come up and then start choo, choo, choo. You see what I mean? Now, dealers work on a timer, and the timer I ordered off eBay was crap, which that happens from time to time when you do eBay purchases. You will get burnt from time to time. But there'll be a controller on here that's got 2 volume knobs, and they go 0 to 10 seconds on each knob, and one's on and one's off. And there's my boy Benny calling. I'm gonna get off here. I'll be back. So anyway, normally I like to do a complex, that's a very complex and very small project, and it don't leave much room for multiple people. I normally like to do it with other people because I get guidance or some layout diet, some pretty good stuff. Use it to lay things out, you know, where you can pop your hose and stuff. That was Squeezer's idea. Thank you, Squeezer, by the way. Normally I like to use multiple people because you get one guy watches the other guy, one guy comes up with an idea that's better than the other guy, and that sort of thing. But with this project, Stevie did all the machining, but there ain't room for it. And it's so complex, I gotta weld a little bit, modify, tweak, weld, modify, tweak, that sort of thing. So it's hard to really get in a rhythm. I'll show you how this layout die works. Just spray your piece down. And as it dries, you can pop your little hosey hose. Works pretty good. I probably didn't have to spray all of it. But that's how I'm gonna mark to pop my holes in there and stuff like that. I could just clamp them down and pop there with a drill though. Save myself a little aggravation.
All right. We'll put this together.
We'll put it together, bud.
All right. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my springs on. Now, I've went through this and carefully adjusted what I thought was the right amount of tension for this pedal, because I want it to be not really noticeable on your muscle memory at the end of the day. Or your, I don't know what you call that. I didn't want it to be noticeable on your muscles at the end of the day, that you even operated this thing through the day. There's my homemade bolt. I should kind of clean that up. Casey Jones, Casey Jones, Casey Jones. You can't find nothing. Yeah, you can't. You said you still can't find nothing.
Alright, I'm gonna go tackle this side.
All right, be good.
Alright, don't have too much fun.
I'll try not.
At least smile.
All right, where's we at? Okay, so this box is a bit tall to do what I initially wanted to do. So I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to weld this. Oh, you know what I could do? An offset 45. I'll be back. I just welded it on and got it over with. Now, where's my little doodad? Boop. Hot. Hey, you weld something on there? I got a news flash for you. It's gonna be hot. Just an FYI. Which means for your information. For your information. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. That's what I got. It's gonna be hot. Boop, 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 boop. Hotty, hot, hot, hotty, hot, 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 hot. Hotty, hot, hotty, hot. Hotty, hotty, hot, hotty, hot. Alright, watch. Poor old mistreated Logger Wade cut his freaking finger off. Every time I open the blade, that's all I think is I'm getting ready to cut my finger. Yeah, boy. There we go. Okay. Okay, slide her in there. This little stuff like this gets aggravating. It's necessary for a job well done. There it is. Love it! Gonna love it! Ha ha! You're making stuff for the sawmill, man. You gotta make it bulletproof. Gotta be. Gotta be able to get super ticked off, which that don't happen much anymore, but everybody gets ticked off from time to time. Everybody. Would not feel so all alone, but everybody must get stoned. Stone me when you're driving in your car. They stone you when you're drinking at the bar. Would not feel so all alone, but everybody must get stoned. It's a big deal about getting stoned back in. Everybody was aggravated about it, and some people did it, some people didn't. Some people didn't like it, some people did like it, I don't know. Some people like to do it though, but they like to do it, but not to each their own, but alright. Would not feel, but they made that song about it. Would not feel so all alone. Okay. The Titanic's sinking. Turn to find out the Titanic sunk. We thought he was flipping boards. Would not feel so all alone, but everybody must get stoned. So there it is. That's what it's gonna look like. Breaker, breaker, we got a picture taker. Okay, let me do this right here, because I'm gonna slop them together here in a minute so y'all can see her worky jerky. Let me unhook this. Ordered this off eBay. Now remember I tell you there's sometimes eBay's good, sometimes eBay's not so good? Well, this is one of the times it's not so good. I ordered this thing's a piece of crap. Don't work, hooked it up, nothing. Went through the manual, checked the manual out, check it out, nothing. It is shwooed up, I think. There's still a chance I could be operator error, but it ain't working. So I ordered one I understand, which I should have ordered to start with, but that one was cheap. Would not feel so all alone, but everybody must get stoned. Stone me when I'm riding in my car. They stone me when something else happens. And they stone me even when they're freaking clapping. Oh, I don't know. I would not feel so all alone, but everybody must get stoned. Okay. Okay, that's going to be your extension cord for this. Beautiful. Okay. So, this here is going into one of these here units here. Oh, that is beautiful, guys. Beautiful. Gotta love her, bud. This is turning out cute. Look at this. See, SOS, it'd be an FOS, flip our stuff. That or something vulgar. So it's gonna come in her box. Okay, and this is gonna be a his and hers. I told Eric and Carrie they can argue over who's the his and who's the hers. But, so this box sits in the middle. So it's gonna set locks here, hang on. So this will set like, say that's the line, this will set somewhere in the middle here. So one of them's got his cord, and you can walk all over it. The cord is made, I got hydraulic wrap on it, I got flex on it, and then I also got the inside of it is made with this here SO cord. So the cord's also got a wrap on it. So it's protected so many ways. It could drop boards on it and everything else and it still hold up. That's what I was at. And the cord's on the ground, so if they stomp on the fitting here, it's right on the ground. I'm telling you, when you're doing something for lumber grade and stuff, look at that. See what I mean? It's made heavy duty. You can beat the heck out of it. Well, this is quite time consuming, but we got our electrics in her. I'm kind of mocking this thing up. So I can show you all how it runs when we get to running it. And this tube, this conduit will be down under the deck, but I'm just gonna lay it up there and I'll just loose tie the wires in. And I'm gonna get these things operating both scenarios. The reason I'm gonna put this all together is not just for YouTube. The reason I'm putting this all together is because it's the first one. So I want to latch them down good, and I want to run the timing on them and see how responsive they are, how quick they are. If I need to add regulators, if I need to add flow controls, that sort of thing. So I need to set it up to operate it, which is going to be kind of cool to see when I get it going. Got my gear racks cut, and they'll weld on here. You know, probably up high like this, and well, yeah, probably about this height really, and then it rises up and down on the gear racks. And there's my pinion gear with the keyway broached in them, but I got the key cutter out. We ain't used this thing for years. But there's the keys I'm cutting in the shaft. We ain't built stuff around here for years. But I'll set you all up and let you watch me. Now you got to set it up level. See, the idea is you got a key there, key there, key there, key there, and you have to set it up level so when you cut all your keys in, everything sets right. And with this application, it's crucial because you want everything in time to work properly to each other. Because when you weld them gear racks on, like I'm going to do, them got to be lickety split and everything perfect. So here we go. We're going to cut a key and we're going to drill down. We're going to drill down 125 thousandths. That's half of a 1/4 inch key. All right. You look right here, that's setting our 0, and I'm gonna go around 1, then 125. I'm gonna set you all up here so I can pull it. There's one keyway cut. On to the next one. I got 3 down and 5 to go. Me and Mama getting ready to go home. Mama helped me with these. I didn't get her on video. What these are is there's adjustment for the bearings that holds the, let me set that up there properly. So see, you can adjust it back or forth. And I have to put a jammer nut right here to push on it, and that's adjusting. Here's the drive shaft for the, got all the keyways cut in. And here's the gear racks. They're gonna set up there and mate up to these gears. See there? Boop, boop, boop. But them's all cut, and that's all done. These are rough mill. I'm not a good machinist. I'm not good at anything really. I just do a little bit of everything. Jack of all. But here's, I ran the wiring across from the other side of the deck. I'm gonna mock this up because this is close to what it's gonna be. So I'm gonna go ahead and mock it up and hook up my electrical and plug it into the extension cord because it's all 120 anyways. And I'm gonna hook my air line up and then run it all. It'll run slow in here because I won't be able to feed enough air quick enough, but at least we'll see what's going on. We'll at least see that we'll get our speed adjusted on things and get it all to where it'd be a cinch to hook up down there. So when we go down below, all we'll be doing is focusing more on installation and not on fine tuning so much. Fine tune up here. So, and I gotta add, let's see, incorporate I gotta put another relay in here and incorporate this photocell, and the photocell is gonna help run the dealer to, but these are all gonna be wired in pretty much. When you operate it, it's just going to operate, you know. The only things in this system is it's relays for controlling the power up and down.
Not been sharing enough on this project. Been so deep in thought, it's hard for me to thank YouTube while I'm doing it. I'll do a little bit of machining here. This is a round table. I had to kind of rebuild it the other day. It's kind of, oh, that's what's screwed up. It was kind of all walled out and stuff. That's what I machine them radial slots with. This is a good old milling machine, but I'm no authority on milling machines. I'm actually a terrible machinist. To be a good machinist, you have to have one thing that I lack: patience. It's hard to be a machinist when you're not patient. What I'm trying to do now is these airbags raise up my carriage air. That's the bottom of the airbag. There's my dolly. This is my favorite caliper. It's I can't pronounce it here, you pronounce it. But I never use a caliper that don't have a dial on it. I don't like them electric ones. Don't trust them. I trust what I can see. I can see that dial spin. Okay. what it is, 1.75. And that's okay.
here we go. Instead of fighting that channel iron over there that I already got down there, I'm gonna end up cutting a hole in it, cutting a circle out. And this will set on top of the channel iron and underneath this airbag. Like that. Then I'll be able to weld the outsides, and then on the top, I'm just gonna put this ring down and weld this to my piece so the airbag can't get out. And that'll be good enough for Hoots 4. We'll take it. Now I'm gonna shut you all off so I can listen to my audio book. Can't listen to my audio book and do this stuff. Back to y'all. I'm gonna set them airbags in. I'm gonna cut her out on the frame, get them airbags in there, get these plates on there below the airbag, get it welded where it's right, then shimmy up my carriage and set it down into the airbags, and then tack in my circle piece. That'll hold my bag. I'll be back.